So that's what we're doing. Guys, UFC 308 just concluded. What did I just watch? I'm going to start with the main event and the co-main event, and then I'm going to make my way down the card and speak about every single fight tonight, because there was, aside from like the bottom three that I don't necessarily care about, there was an absurd amount of action. This is literally the best card I've ever watched. That's not recency bias. I finished the prelims and said, yeah, this is the best card I've ever watched. And then the main card came on and got even better. Could never have predicted it. Could never have asked for it. I felt like I was asleep having a dream halfway through this card and had to pinch myself, and I guess I am here watching this live. Let's start with the main event. Ilia Topuria. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you guys? Max Holloway, never been knocked out, absorbed the most significant strikes in UFC history. My prediction, round 2 or round 3 KO. Result, round 3 KO. Left hook, Max goes to sleep on his feet. Falls down to the mat, gets finished with ground and pound. I don't even really want to say that much about the main event. That's how crazy this card is. I just want to talk about briefly what happened, discuss it. I think Ilia Topuria should be pound for pound number 1 right now. If not, he should be number 2. Islam and Ferreira are both great. I don't think they're both better than Ilia in terms of performance and achievement. I don't. I really don't. Islam's only fought in one weight class. So is Ilia, but he's fighting people. He just fought Max, who came off a KO over Justin Gaethje upper weight class. Islam's fighting people that are from a lower weight class. Different kind of fucking gravy here, bro. Like, we're not talking about the same thing. I love Islam, and I love Pereira. They're literally, Islam, Pereira, and Ilia are my 3 favorite fighters, okay? But I'm putting Ilia above them. I am. I don't think the UFC will, but I already thought this guy was amazing. I just didn't have the resume to prove it. Now we have the fucking resume to prove it, bro. After that Emmett performance, I was like, yeah, this guy's going to be a problem. Knocks out Volk. I cry my eyes out, but I'm happy because it's a great performance. But we're like, oh, Volk was compromised. Max Holloway has never been knocked out. Never even been, hasn't been submitted in a long time. I think Poirier submitted him. That was the last one. Ilia goes out there and knocks him out cold with a shot on the jaw. I lost my voice for a moment because of how loud I screamed. You'll probably see it in the reaction video that I post later. Crazy shit. Dude, 16-0. We haven't had an undefeated champion defending with knockouts ever. I think Izzy was, at one point, an undefeated champion defending with knockouts. He also had shit fights that were really close and robberies and low-key bad decisions, you know? Ilia ain't having bad decisions. Ilia ain't even having close decisions. He ain't even getting 2 decisions. Josh Emmett survived by the skin of his teeth. He's lucky that he still has brain capacity after the beating he took from Ilia. Dude's the GOAT. I think Ilia's going to be top 5 of all time. We just got to wait and see. Like, I don't even know what's next for him. Max Holloway, I want him to go to 155. I want Max to stay at 155. Give me, like, he's got the BMF title. Let him fight someone at 155 for the BMF title. Give me, like, Max Holloway versus Dan Hooker for the BMF title. Or something like that. You know what I mean? Winner can get a title shot or a number 1 contender fight. Something along those lines. Sad for Max. I know a lot of you guys are going to be really sad. I'm not that sad. As much as I love Max, I knew this was going to happen. This was my prediction. This was also what I wanted to happen because I really, really fucking think Ilia's on a absolute generational run right now that we are probably never going to see again or not see again for a long time after he's done. And he's 27 years old, man. Crazy stuff. Main event. One of my favorite finishes of all time now. Great shit. Co-main event. I screamed like a motherfucker against Ilia getting the knockout over Max, okay? I was silent when Hamzat submitted Whittaker. And then that silence turned into screaming of, he's everything we fucking hoped he was. That's all I could say. He's everything we wanted him to be. We've been like, oh, Hamzat's been having weird performances in the last couple of years and he's been getting sick and he's not having full fight camps and he's got short notice replacements and everything. Dude, Whittaker had a full camp. Hamzat had a full camp. They both came into this fight healthy. Both made weight, even though Hamzat was questionable supposedly about the weight miss. About making weight. Dude submitted. Whittaker was defending that shit well. I actually thought Whittaker was going to make it out of the first round after these first 2 minutes. I was like, oh, he's actually kind of weathering the storm of Hamzat right now. Not bad. I don't know if he's going to survive the whole fight. I picked Whittaker as well, by the way. I was like, I don't know if he's going to survive the whole fight, but we'll see. If he makes out his first round, I get much more confident in Whittaker's abilities. Khamzat dislocates his jaw. We are looking at half guard from top position, not even a dominant fucking... Like, Khamzat doesn't even have, like, 2 hooks in on the back, fighting a choke or something. He's just, like, fighting hands, hammer fisting off top, and then all of a sudden, he just... Shoom, under the neck, locked in. And then Whittaker just fucking, like he was dying, okay? And now, you want to know why Whittaker was tapping like he was dying? You want to know? It's because of that. That's what Robert Whittaker's teeth look like right now. Because not only was his jaw dislocated, I can't even really tell what I'm looking at there, but it looks like Robert Whittaker's teeth have been snapped back 90 degrees. Who the fuck have you ever seen do that in an MMA fight before? Let alone a UFC fight, let alone a title contender fight, let alone in the first round. Khamzat's everything we wanted him to be, and I could not be happier. Sean Strickland, I think you beat Dricus du Plessis at UFC 297. Fuck off. Fuck off. We don't care. I'm here to tell you. We do not care. Okay? We want Khamzat versus DDP. Okay? That's the only fight to make in that division. There is no other choice. Zero. I don't care. I don't want to see anything else. Strickland, I want you to get your title shot because I think that you beat Dricus. I think you deserve to have that shot. Go fucking fight someone. Go fucking fight someone, dude. You barely beat, well, not barely beat Costa. You boringly beat Costa fucking 6 months ago. This title fight between Khamzat and Dricus is going to be in like 6 months from now. It's going to be in like fucking January or fucking April or some shit. Go fight someone and earn your fucking title shot. Because right now, you don't look worthy at all. You don't look worthy at all. The guy that just broke Robert Whittaker's jaw in 3.5 minutes looks worthy. Enough said. Seriously, what else is there to say? Khamzat came in and we're like, let's see, this is the true test. Oh, he tapped. Right, so that Khamzat that we saw in 2020 and 2021 that we were like, oh, this guy's going to be a triple champion. Yeah, he was sleeping, hibernating for a couple of years while this other Khamzat with a dead immune system took over and just barely made it to any of the fights he had. Broke his hand in the first round against Usman. Yeah, that guy's not here anymore. 2020 Khamzat is back in control again. And he is driving the bus. So, middleweight is fucked. They're all fucked. I don't know how anyone is going to beat him. I love Dricus, bro. I think Dricus is fucked. I think Khamzat is going to maul Dricus. He's going to choke him out. Khamzat didn't even stand and strike with Whittaker for 1 second. It was like 15 seconds in, and he shot for legs and immediately got Whittaker down. Whittaker was defending hands well, got back up to his feet a couple times. Khamzat just picks him up, throws him back down. Picks him up, throws him back down. He's on top of him multiple times. He's not doing much damage, but he's just on Whittaker non-stop. There was no, oh, Whittaker reversed the position. It was more like, oh, look, Whittaker's getting his legs back underneath him. Okay, he's up to his feet. Khamzat still hold on to his wrist. Oh, he's back down again. Okay, cool. All right, well, Whittaker's fighting the hands here. Oh, we just gave up his back. Oh, Khamzat's got 2 hooks in. Okay, he lost a hook. All right. Okay, Whittaker's trying to make a base here. Oh, Khamzat's got another hook in. Oh, he just put a choke in. He tapped. What the fuck happened there? 30 seconds later, we find out that his jaw got dislocated. So that's great. That's great. What else is there to do? What else is there to do? Give me Dricus versus Khamzat now. Thank you. Come again. After that, I've not got a lot to say about this, not because it was shit, but just because it just is what it is. Ankalaev beat Rakic. Rakic won the first round. Ankalaev put the pressure on him and beat him in the second and third. I would have liked to have seen a better third round from Ankalaev. He made it quite boring in the third, but it was entertaining in the second round from him, so it's not like he did nothing. He did lose the first round to Rakic though, but just as the fight went on, Rakic lost the pace. Ankalaev started to apply pressure and eventually just started to walk away with the victory, and then it was clear. Like, before the third round had even ended, when there was like 2 minutes left on the clock, I was like, yeah, Ankalaev's won this. Like, Rakic is not getting any faster, he's not getting any more powerful, he's not getting any closer to getting back up to his feet. This is the end of the fight. And it was the end of the fight. That was the end. So book Ankalaev versus Ferreira. You just got to do it. This guy's undeniable. He's beaten literally the entire fucking division, basically. or not the entire division, that's a bit of a stretch, but he's beaten so many people in this division without even coming close to losing, except the Yarn fight. The Yarn fight is the only thing that was close, and it was a draw. It's not even a loss on his record. He should have been disqualified against Johnny Walker, so that should be a loss on his record, but it's still a disqualification. Doesn't mean you got knocked out or finished or you lost a decision. It's a disqualification. Loss or not, it doesn't mean that really anything. In fact, like, it should be a loss in his record. It wouldn't affect him getting a title shot. I don't think, though. It shouldn't. All it means is that you rebooked the fight like they did, but call it a DQ like it was. You took Jan's belt for that shit. Anyway, we'll see how he goes against Ferreira. He could just decide to completely change up his game plan and just try and grapple Ferreira and submit him immediately. He could do that. That'd be pretty fucking funny, as much as it would piss me off. But he wants to strike with this dude, so if he wants to strike with this dude, fucking let him. Fucking let him. Make the fight. Let's do it. Lerone Murphy vs. Dan Ige. Uneventful. I thought Dan Ige won, but it was close. I wasn't really shocked to see Lerone Murphy won, but I did score it to Dan Ige because round 3, Lerone Murphy actually got more strikes landed than I thought when I checked the stats, but, you know, I thought we actually did give a lot of props to control time when there's no damage, because Lerone didn't do damage. He did a knee to Dan Ige's face with 10 seconds left, okay? For the rest of that round, Murphy was barely touching Ige. Okay, he landed strikes on him when they were on the feet, but for about 3 minutes of that round, they were on the ground with Ige on top. Murphy would end up on top in a scramble. Ige just would reverse it, end up on top again, lay on top of him again. It wasn't interesting from Ige in that third round, but I mean, I just don't think Lerone was impressive in that round at all. I would have given that fight to Ige. He almost knocked him out in the first, so he choked that finish. He literally got Lerone up against the cage after he had him really badly hurt, and instead of going for crazy punches, he was throwing winging crazy shit, and then as soon as Lerone gets up against the cage like this, Dan Ige just starts... No, I'm not even exaggerating. Go back and watch it. He literally starts, and the commentary goes, oh, he's pitter-pattering, because he was. He literally just stopped throwing powerful stuff. I don't know if he gassed out, if he was trying to conserve the energy, maybe he thought the finishing sequence was going to last longer, but Lerone just go back to the center, and then that's it. He knocked Lerone out. Lerone was unconscious and then hit the mat and woke up. Like, it was, you won the fight and then you lost it for yourself. I wanted Dan Ige to win. Rip. Lerone Murphy remains undefeated after he kind of not got fraud checked there, but got exposed, got pretty much finished, but then survived somehow and then could barely grapple with Dan Ige. Dan Ige's not a grappler, dude. Lerone Murphy's been supposedly known to have good defensive grappling. He got reversaled by Dan Ige several times in scrambles and ended up on bottom position over and over again. Bad win for Lerone Murphy. Shara Bullet gets the most absurd fucking KO ever. This is the type of shit we were expecting when we saw this guy's highlight reels and stuff on Instagram and on TikTok, and we're like, oh my god, this guy's getting signed to the UFC. This shit's gonna be insane. Then he comes out and has like a bit of a fucking point fest with Bruno Silva. It was entertaining. He had high output and stuff, but he didn't finish him. And his finish over Antonio Tricoli was barely a finish because Tricoli was a human punching bag for like fucking that entire third round until eventually the referee stepped in and gave him mercy to the damage that Shara was putting on him. Petrosyan literally was doing so well in the first round, by the way. Asleep. Like, have you ever seen that? I've never seen that. Like, when I saw that KO, I was like, never seen that shit before. It's one of 11 spinning back fist knockouts in the UFC. I don't think there's ever been a double spinning back fist knockout in the UFC. Correct me if I'm wrong. Who's done that? Tell me. I'd love to know. Viral KO. That is going to be in a lot of edits, and that's going to be every time there's a Shara Bullet fight coming up, you're going to see that clip coming up everywhere. So, fucking good shit. Hell yeah, he called out Adesanya, so that's a fucking ballsy call out, but I mean, I can't blame him. After he put on a pretty good fight against Petrosyan. Petrosyan impressed me with his striking. He did way better than I thought he was going to do, but Shara still just walked away with it. I think I had it 1-1 as the round was about to end, and then there was like 10 seconds left in the round, and then he hits that double spinning back fist and just Petrosyan died and just fell down. He literally landed on his hands and knees and just like he was awake, but he completely unable to control his body and just no tried to roll over to his back to put his legs up, nothing. He was done for. Shara Bullet walked away before the referee had even stopped it. And the referee's like, the fight's not over. Oh, the guy's not moving, the fight's over. So like, tis what tis. Good shit from Shara. Now he's 15-0. That's the full main card. Now we're going to move on to the prelims. I'd like to preface this by saying I started watching the main card with already having the opinion in mind that this is the best card I've ever watched. Because the prelims were fucking absurd. The prelims themselves could be a pay-per-view main card on any other pay-per-view ever, and I would be like, yeah, that was absurd. That was a great pay-per-view. I got my money worth. I would have paid $300 to watch this pay-per-view. Like, start to finish. Absurdity. Okay? I'm going to mention these early fights first, because I just don't care, / didn't watch them, / there's not that much to talk about. The first 3 decisions. So we had Rinat Fakhretdinov got robbed the fuck out of Carlos Leal. He looks like he's on roids, so I kind of don't care. Hopefully he doesn't stick around in the UFC because he looks roided to the fucking gills, and he came in on short notice, so you can't really USADA test him and prove that he's not on roids. So until they put him through some kind of testing pool or make him come back on the Contender Series or Ultimate Fighter or whatever, no thank you. Tis what tis. He fought well. He literally beat Rinat, so it's kind of sad. But Rinat stays undefeated in his last 23 fights. Kind of crazy. Ismail Naurdiev dog walks Bruno Silva. Absolute dog walk. Like, it wasn't even close. Bruno Silva he's been a shell of himself ever since he fought Alex Pereira. Ismail looked great. Good comeback to the UFC after getting cut. He didn't even have that great of a regional run after he got cut from the UFC, but he got his chance to come back and showed that he was worth it. Let me see. I want to see the numbers for this. It was 107 to 38 strikes in favor of Naurdiev, so ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Up above that, Farid Basharat put a clinic on Victor Hugo. There was some good moments from Hugo, but you missed weight, so kind of fuck you. It was 89 to 48 for strikes in favor of Basharat there, as well as he got 4 takedowns. He kept rolling for leg locks. I was a bit worried that he was going to just accidentally snap Basharat's foot and be like, I won the fight, when he was getting absolutely dog walked other than that, but luckily he didn't. Basharat, honestly, I didn't really care or know much about him. I just knew he was one of the Basharat brothers. I kind of care now. It was entertaining. He was really good striker, did a lot of work at distance, managed to pop in and pop out, especially against Victor Hugo. He's a really fucking good striker, and I think he was on a 15-fight win streak. So, great win. Good shit from Farid Basharat. Above that, another one. Don't really care about it because it was kind of shit. Kennedy Nzechukqu just teed off on a one-legged Chris Barnett because he fucked up his ankle in the, not even the celebration, the preparation. When Bruce Buffer was doing his introduction, he jumped and did a slam onto the ground, the same way that Brian Ortega did when he fought Diego Lopez, and he stumbled on his foot, except Ortega didn't injure his foot when he did it. He just felt like he did. Barnett's foot was fucked. He couldn't stand on it. He was hopping around on one leg for half the time, just sitting up against the cage with his back up, hoping to land something ridiculous. He threw 2 of his cool kicks and stuff like that, but then his foot just got worse and worse. Apparently he did his Achilles, and that was the injury that had him out for a while. It looked like that might have been what he did again. Rest in peace, Chris Barnett. I don't know if you'll ever come back or ever be the same as you were. Kennedy Nzechukqu gets a shitty victory to start off his heavyweight career, so we'll see how he goes. Give him fucking Rebellis to Spain or something, or I just don't care. I really don't care. Kennedy Nzechukwu has been finished up by a lot of light heavyweights. I don't think he's going to do very good at heavyweight. Moving on. Abus Magomedov versus Bruno Ferreira. I had this 1-1 going into the third round, and I thought Bruno Ferreira was really starting to pick up the pace and actually do really well against Abus, which is interesting because Bruno had never seen the third round in his career. He'd only ever been to a second round twice, and everything else had ended in the first round, including his one loss. So when we were in the second round, I was like, okay, he took that first round. I made the prediction that it would be a finish in the second or third, but I thought it was going to be Ferreira because I thought that they would take a second in the first round, even though they're both first round finishes. I felt like that was going to cancel each other out, and it did. Both guys were very inactive in the first round. Except Abus was more active, obviously, but he still wasn't that active. Won the round. Second round, Bruno comes out way better, way more active, way more aggressive, puts the pace on Abus Magomedov, and wins the round just through damaging striking and just good pressure and effective control of the octagon. He was walking around the outside the whole time in the first round. Second round, complete role reversal. Abus was up against the cage the whole time. Bruno Ferreira's walking him down. Third round, kind of a mix of the two, so it's seen a bit better from Abus. But Ferreira's still, in my opinion, taking the round away from him. Abus gets a takedown. I think he might have gotten 2 takedowns in that round. He got a couple in this fight, right? He landed 4 takedowns throughout this fight, yeah. Gets Ferreira down and then just catches him in an arm triangle. And I said, oh, God, he's in an arm triangle. If he jumps across to the side, I think Ferreira's going to tap to that, and he did. And then Ferreira just tapped, and I thought, yeah, fuck, that sucks so much. It was 3 minutes into the third round. There was 2 minutes left until, in my opinion, Ferreira was winning a decision if he continued to do as he was doing in that round. He just needed to get up from those takedowns that Abus was putting on him, and he just couldn't do it. So, is what it is. Abus gets another win. Not bad. It was a fun fight. But yeah, moving on. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this fight in between the last two fights, and then we will get on to the final two fights, which you probably know what the fuck I'm about to talk about. So Geoff Neal versus RDA. Rip. Geoff Neal was piecing RDA up in the first round. I predicted that he'd get a finish. Didn't think it was going to be because RDA blew out his knee off of a jab, but that's what happened. Geoff Neal hit RDA with a jab. RDA steps back, knee pops. Don't know how, don't know why it happened. You're 40 years old. Please retire. You don't need to be sticking around in this sport after a ACL, MCL, LCL injury when you are 40 years old. It's time to go. You can't even really decide on what division you're in right now. Legend of the sport. Dude's got like I think that's 16 now, losses in the UFC. Kind of fucking crazy that anyone can be in the UFC long enough to get 16 losses. He's still positive. He's like 24 and 16, but come on, RDA. Retire, please. Geoff Neal, he was doing well in the fight, so it's at least good that we saw something of him, but it took 90 seconds, so we really didn't get much. He's on a win streak. Well, not on a win streak. He's got a win again. He's on a big run of losses in the last 6 fights, though. Put him against another test, between 15 and 10 ranked guy. Probably test him because RDA was unranked at welterweight. Give Geoff Neal a nice test again. He's 34. He's not too old, but he's getting up there. Definitely don't need to be giving him top contenders or anything like that right now. I don't think he deserves it, especially not after that performance. But yeah, final two fights we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Ibo Aslan first because it's quicker. Now, I picked Rafael Coqueta for this fight. I said it was close, and I knew it was going to be a first-round finish regardless. Didn't know who it was going to be from, though. They both got pretty padded records. Both guys have very padded records. They've only fought 2 decent competition fights outside of their UFC careers. Ibo was lost to Anton Turkalj, which is a fucking horrible loss, and he rematched him in the UFC and got pieced up by him a lot. Anton Turkalj sucks and has a bad chin, okay? He was on a 3-fight losing streak when he fought Ibo Aslan. Ibo needed that win badly. It was his only loss, and the guy was on a 3-fight win streak. He couldn't make that fight close, and he couldn't make a decision, nothing. It had to be brutal, and it was. So, good on Ibo there. But, against Rafael Coqueta, now I counted this. Ibo Aslan lands one clean, perfect left hook on the temple of Rafael Coqueta. He follows that up by walking him down, getting him up against the cage, and then just all of a sudden, Hell's Gates open. And Ibo Aslan throws a 34-punch combination over the span of about 13 seconds. So that's 2.5 punches a second for 13 seconds long. He literally went we're talking robot wars type shit. Just 34 punches. Just like this. And then there was one where he went boom, boom, through 2 lefts back to back, and then just straight back to the 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Referee steps in, standing TKO. Coqueta had nothing. He wasn't responding at all. He was just eating all the punches. I would have liked, even though it's ironic that I say this because I'm talking about how insane of a finish it was. I actually would have liked to see it go a little bit further because Coqueta was still standing, and I don't think he was that rocked from that combination. He was very rocked from the left hook to the temple, and then he was overwhelmed by the fucking crazy pace that Ibo Aslan was putting on him after that. I think 1 or 2, genuinely, we're talking 2 or 3 more punches. I think Coqueta either drops or crumbles. One of the two, and then makes sense. But it's they could have stopped that fight 5 punches earlier, and it probably wouldn't have been an issue. Ibo Aslan gets a KO, 50 seconds in front of all of Abu Dhabi, jumps on the microphone, has a fucking Batman voice, and just screams out that he's coming for everyone. Dude's gonna have some fans now. Good shit. Very well done, Ibo Aslan. Now, the very last fight that I want to talk about, you all know what it is. It's the only one I haven't mentioned. Genghis Khan was reincarnated for 15 minutes, and he existed in this realm for 15 minutes. Genghis Khan decided that 900 years was long enough of a slumber, and that he needed to rise again in the form of Miktabek Oralbai to go into that fucking octagon and literally just be inhuman and accept the most horrific damage, output the most horrific damage, and never slow down until like the third round, where they were like zombies on top of each other, completely unable to stand up, completely unable to keep a pace, no energy at all. Now, I said this many times in my live stream. I said it the moment the fight ended. This is a UFC Hall of Fame fight. Have you guys ever seen Cub Swanson versus Korean Superboy? Do Ho Choi, I think his name is. That fight's mental. Like, they're just falling over each other, trying to throw punches at each other and shit. You cannot commentate what's happening. There is combination after combination. They're just ending up on top of one another. They flip it over. Someone gets cut open. There's blood pissing all over your face. Their skin is red, okay? They literally look like they took a bath in fucking wine. They were red. Head to fucking toe. Miktabek Orobai had a tennis ball emerging from his cheekbone, and Mateusz Rebecki got a brutal ass eye cut from a headbutt, but it was accidental still. This is, I'm telling you, this is a Hall of Fame UFC fight, and it's probably going to be up there for Fight of the Year. I think Mateusz Rebecki, Miktabek Orobai is better than Pereira vs. Khalil. I thought Pereira vs. Khalil was going to be Fight of the Year, 100%. That's better. That's way better. Way better. Like, you're just not going to see that again, dude. Because they just kept going. I was waiting for one of the rounds to either, one, slow down, or two, someone get finished. Just didn't happen. Just didn't happen. And every time you're like, oh, this guy's kind of starting to pull up pace on him. Okay, I don't think he's going to recover. Oh, okay, now he's on bottom position. And Miktabek's back on top. What's going on? How is this possible? Okay, Miktabek's just wailing on him. Oh my god, if Miktabek keeps up this pace, he might finish this fight. And then Rebecki just rolls over, ends up on top, and literally lays on top of Miktabek like a dead fish. Like, and he's like, can barely fucking use his arms to pull himself deeper into the guard. Like, they are dead men walking. This is one of the best UFC fights I've ever seen. So, truly, like, I can't even really describe that much of what happened, because I was just jumping around my room while watching this. So I remember how the fight went. I did score it to Orobai when I was watching it live, but I was under the impression that it was very possible that I was wrong, okay? However, I wasn't that wrong, because one of the judges also agreed with me, and they scored the same rounds that I did. I thought that it was very clear Mateusz Rebecki won the first round. Very clear Miktabek Orobai won the second round. All three judges said that. That was very clear. It was the third round that it came down to. And two judges said it went to Rebecki, one said it went to Orobai. I purely thought it went to Orobai. I can't even remember, actually. I'm not going to sit here and act like it. If you want to go and watch my live reaction, I probably said it there. But I couldn't even express my emotions properly. And when I was watching it, I just went, look, it could go either way, I guess. I just feel like in that third round, what I was seeing, the damage, the control time, I just thought that the Orobai had won it. Rebecki got it done. It is what it is. They both put on performances that were winning performances. So there may have been a man who got his hand raised, but there was no loser in this fight. They both kill any other man on that night. If there is a single other UFC fighter in the ring with either man that night, they're dying. They're leaving on a stretcher. Dan Hooker versus Poirier type shit. I can't believe that they could stand after this fight. It was mental. I don't think you understand what I'm saying when I say that it looked like they took a bath in wine. They were pissing blood out of the canvas was basically clean when they started. I couldn't tell a single stain appearing on the canvas the rest of the night after their fight, because it was so covered in blood that it was impossible to tell if there was another piece of... I couldn't be like, oh yeah, that was the point where, fucking Ibo Arslan got Old Mate down, or oh, that was the point where Dan Ige had Lerone Murphy down. No. They painted the octagon red, they painted themselves red, and that was just... that was it. They literally looked like they had both walked out of a fucking slaughterhouse after they finished. Miktabek was on top of the cage with a tennis ball growing out of his face, pissing blood out of his nose, putting up the fingers. Mateusz Rebecki had a massive gash across his eye and was pissing blood all down it, literally like a, not even red. You know when blood isn't red, but it's like fucking like burgundy, like dark, almost black with how dark the red is. That type of shit leaking out the side of his face. It was thick blood, bro, because of that headbutt must have been deep. Telling ya, fight of the year contender for sure. I can't think of any other fight that even comes close to it. Like, even if you want to say, like, what was the one at UFC 306? Zellhuber versus Ribovic? No, because that was one-sided as fuck. Like, it was fun for the first part of the fight, but then when Ribovic took over, completely one-sided. Just destroyed Zellhuber. This was back and forth, non-fucking stop. Bell to bell, every single round. You were like, how is he coming back from this? Oh my god, he's pissing blood. How is he back on top position now? Oh my god, they're standing again. Oh my god, he's hitting with the right hand. Holy shit, he dropped him. He ends up in bottom position. No, what's going on? He's sprawled. Wait a minute, they're back on the feet. Oh, and he's dropped again. How can he see out of that eye? Wow, he cut his eye open with a headbutt. He's pissing blood. Oh my god, he's literally leaking like a fucking tap on top of Miktabek Orbai right now. Oh my god, they've reversed position again. What is going on? Impossible to say who was dominant in that fight. Luckily, we scored round by round. Because if we didn't, and we just said, we look at them at the end and go, who won? There's no winner. Well, there's no losers, actually. They're both winners, because they both made the other man look like they just came back from a fucking CIA torture chamber. This is the best card of the year. It's the best card I've ever watched. It tops UFC 299 and UFC 300. This tops it, ridiculously. The back-to-back performances, okay? It was good up until the Abus fight with Ferreira, right? It was good from them. The Farid Basharat fight was fun. The Ismail Naurdiev fight was fun. Rinat fight was fun, but it was a robbery. Still fun. The Nzechukqu Barnett fight was shit. And then we were like, okay, we've had fun fights all night. Then we get Genghis Khan coming back to life against fucking Mateusz Rebecki and somehow just marching through death's door over and over again for 15 minutes. And then Ibo Aslan puts together the 34-punch combination in 12 fucking seconds. Like, by the end of the prelims, I was like, yeah, this is one of the best cards I've ever watched already. And we've only seen the prelims. And then Shara Bullet hits a double spinning back fist knockout on Armen Petrosyan after it was already a really entertaining kickboxing fight in the first round and the second round. Then Lerone Murphy comes and puts on a bit of a sleeper, but Dan Ige literally knocked him out. Like, to me, that made that fight entertaining. The rest of the fight was meh, but I had a feeling that Lerone Murphy versus Dan Ige and Ankalaev versus Rakic would be the two fights to be boring. And to be fair, Ankalaev versus Rakic wasn't boring until like the third round, till the end of the third round as well. Rounds 1 and 2 were fun. Rakic was doing really well in the first round, very active, lots of head kicks, lots of low kicks. Second round, Ankalaev was landing the shots upstairs, heaps. Absurd. By that point, I was like, yeah, this is one of my favorite cards of all time, and I haven't even seen the co-main and main event. Then Whittaker. Then Khamzat Chimaev breaks Whittaker's jaw in 90 seconds and snaps his teeth back on a 90-degree angle. That's absurd. Sure. Right, I guess we're just expected to see that and be like, yeah, that's an expected performance from this guy. Cool. Give him a title fight now. Book it in 2 weeks. I don't give a fuck. Like, I want to see that immediately. And then Ilia Topuria comes out and knocks out Max Holloway for the first time in history, not even UFC history. Never been knocked out. Literally, left hook on the chin. Max drops like a sack of potatoes. My voice was dead from the amount of screaming I was doing, saying, yo, I told y'all motherfuckers, y'all clowning, I'm saying it again, y'all motherfuckers were clowning me. All my comment sections in the last 2 weeks where I've been posting stuff about the press conference and the face-to-face and all that stuff, non-stop about the Ilya glazing is crazy. Oh my god, bro, like, get his meat out your mouth, dude. Oh, bro, he's not gonna read it. Brother, I'm a fucking analyst, okay? It's my job. Well, it's not my job, but it's my passion, and this is what this YouTube channel is about, to sit here and analyze shit as it goes down. All I did was analyze and tell you what was happening as it went down, okay? And that's what I saw. And I foresaw the future, that Ilya would get a knockout in the second or third round, regardless of how good y'all fucking think Max's chin is, right? There was just something inside me that was unable to shake that feeling. Granted, I also had the exact same feeling about Whittaker getting Khamzat out of there, so that was completely wrong. But I was much more confident about Ilya. Much more. I was hoping for Whittaker, and I just had a weird feeling about it. But Ilya was more just, I couldn't convince myself that wasn't going to happen. And then second round ends, and I'm like, hey, I said it was going to be a second round finish. He made it through the second round, but Ilya's winning now. Ilya lost the first round, won the second round. we'll see. See if he gets to finish this third round. See if I'm right. There you fucking go. Guys, girls, I hope you enjoyed this card as much as I did. It's 9 a.m. I've been awake streaming and recording and shit since 2:30 a.m. So it's been about 7 hours. So I'm going to get this video done, upload it for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. I'm trying to get this content out as fast as I can, trying to do more long form stuff, you know, breakdowns, actually doing card reactions like this. I might try and do them more often. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, I don't really want to make them when it's really boring cards, but something like this was just a perfect moment for me to introduce like these post-fight event breakdowns. I couldn't not yap about this. If there's ever going to be a event to start making breakdown videos on, this is the one to start it on. So here we are. I hope you guys did enjoy. Just so you know, don't get your hopes up, okay? We're never getting an event like this again. I'm not even saying this year. We're never getting an event like this again. The luck that we had, okay? The Abu Dhabi cards are known for being stacked and partially also known for having some stinky performances on them. Now, we did still have the stinky performances of the RDA injury, the Nzechukqu injury, the robbery for Rinat Fakhretdinov, and the slightly stinky Lerone Murphy versus Dan Ige in fight. And then Magomed Ankalaev versus Rakic was fine, but was much, much lower of a watch compared to the rest of the card. I said that going in, I was like, there's no way that they're going to even be close to... Like, this fight can be really, really good 3 rounds, fun the whole way through. It's going to feel boring because of how good this card has been. And I was right. Hope you enjoyed it. This is one of my favorite cards of all time. It is my favorite card of all time. I don't see how it's fucking possible to top this. UFC 310 looks pretty good, honestly. There's a lot of cards stacked all the way top to bottom. A lot of fights stacked top to bottom on that one. It's going to be good. Next week, we have Moreno versus Albazi in UFC Canada. I'll be live doing a fight companion for that one as well. Come and join me. Chuck on notifications so you don't miss an upload or a live stream. I'm going to be doing live streams for more than just fight companions now. We're doing fight companions every week, as well as press conferences I'm going to do a reaction to every time. And I'm also recording gaming videos for my second channel live on this channel. So the streams won't stay up on the channel, but when I record, I'm live on this channel. Streams go down, videos get edited, sent on the second channel. So come and join in live. I'd love to have you guys there. This is what I want this channel to be. I want the videos and stuff to be obviously a big part of it because it's obviously like it's a YouTube channel. It needs videos, but the streams are very much something I'm trying to introduce and make a big, big mainstay of the channel. So I'd love to have you there. There was a lot of people in the chat during this one. I can't remember your guys' names, but there was the Indian dude, there was a Russian dude in there. So thank you guys for both being there. It was fun to have you guys, someone to talk with throughout the event. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the fuck out of all of you, all the love I'm getting on the recent videos, hundreds of views on breakdowns and stuff like that, thousands of views on reactions. It's fucking ridiculous. And the shorts all get hundreds of views. TikToks get thousands of views. It's absurd. I just can't help myself but continue to make content because the results are ridiculous for me to ignore. I can't be like, oh, it's alright, I'll make another video tomorrow. Nah, bro, I'm staying up all night to make shit. I don't care because it's doing so well. So what the fuck how am I gonna sleep without knowing that I use my time well? Thank you guys for being here. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. What was your favorite fight of the event? For me, it's a toss-up, but actually, no, it's Ilya. It's Ilya. Before the co-main and main event, I was saying that Shara Bullet, Ibo Aslan, and Orabai vs. Rebecca were like the 3 top fights. I was like, I don't know how they're going to top these 3. And then Hamzat vs. Whittaker happened, and then Ilya vs. Max happened. Ridiculous. Let me know what your favorite fights were, guys. I hope to see you in the next video, as well as the next fight companion. Be sure to look out for the reaction videos, because there were so many good fights that I am going to have to make a lot of reaction videos for this. So thank you for being here. Stay tuned. See you next week for the fight companion for UFC Canada. Thank you guys for being here. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next Mixed Martial Arts video. Goodbye.